This is a story about a friendship, not an ordinary one, but one formed from tragedy.
They're trying to get people there. I don't know what to do.
Okay, take a deep breath. Fire has something else.
The tornado was not expected.
They're heading towards the neighborhood. Well, he needs some engines to respond. Oh, please hurry, somebody!
The Carr Fire blew into Redding, destroying hundreds of homes, consuming thousands of acres, and killing people. People who were fighting the fire and people who were trying to escape. This horrible disaster is what brought these two men together.
I mean, I love him. He's just like family, and he is family.
Ed Bledsoe is known in Redding as Grandpa, and to John Dix, he's nothing less.
You get to know him, he's definitely a grandpa.
Outside John's restaurant from the hearth, these two share how they met and what they've learned from each other since the Carr Fire tore through Redding.
I can't imagine a worse nightmare than what Grandpa went through.
And I have me a tragedy and lose him.
Ed lost his wife Melody and great-grandchildren James and Emily that night.
Bunch of good kids. And they could be eating here right now, see?
James and Emily were his pride and joy.
It's a great honor to raise them.
Ed tried to get to them. He tried to drive home to his property in Quartz Hill Road. He tried to save them, but the fire was too fast and too destructive.
And I said, I'm on my way. I'll get there as quick as I can. You know, I said, I'm on my way. Don't worry, Grandpa. He said, come to the front door because the back door is on fire and I don't want you to get hurt. And I talked to him until he lost his last breath. And then all I could say was, all of them were saying, I love you, Grandpa. I love you. Sorry.
Ed carries guilt with him. Guilt he survived, while his family did not.
I'd have been in there laying with them if they'd let me.
Grandpa's story is what touched John's heart. He was watching the news from his hometown unfold while on vacation in Ireland. John dropped everything and flew back to help his community, but also to help Grandpa, a man he'd never met.
And he left all that and come home because he has them beautiful kids and wife here too. That you got to look out for them, you know. That's part of your job. You got to make sure everybody's safe, and something I didn't get to do.
John said he kept pulling over to the side of the road to cry, thinking about his own family and what Grandpa must be feeling.
I keep thinking, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? And he looks at me and he goes, I don't know what to say. And I'm like, I don't know what to say either. And we both start crying.
And it was in that moment they knew the only thing that could heal a loss so monumental was being there for each other. How has John, in the short time you've known him, how has he changed your life?
He brought joy to my life that I lost, and made me feel more like doing things and appreciating things instead of turning stuff down because I was so angry.
I guess the question for me was, how does Grandpa heal? How does he heal from a tragedy like this? And my only thought was that it takes a community. That it's going to take an entire community to just wrap their arms around them. And
you know, without good friends and stuff, it's hard to get by because your mind just don't work the way you want it to. You want it to stay in the good side and not think about the tragedies, but I try to overcome all that by just saying, well, they're gone on vacation. They'll be back pretty soon. They'll walk in and I'll get to hug them, and you know, and that's the way I look at it. It's pretty rough. You say when you got the best, you don't need the rest, but I'm telling you, you need everybody else to get you by when something happens.
It's that sentiment that touched John's heart. Someone who lost everything still has so much to give in the form of friendship.
And it just gave me hope, because life's hard and hard things are going to happen to every single one of us. But I just saw that, like, when you live a life of love, that it pays dividends, that a life of love pays dividends, that people come and they'll help you in your hard times.
That's why John opened his restaurant to fire victims for the month of August. Anyone who lost their home ate for free, including Grandpa, proving something so simple: you can heal by just extending a hand.
And I can't tell you how happy I am.
Thanks,
One great dude, I'll tell you. It's he don't do nothing but the best. Anytime he can help, by gosh, he's right there helping. And I just love him for it, you know. I mean, that's the way I feel. In my heart, he'll always have a spot in my heart, I'll tell you.